Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a new affordable housing complex in Maine's capital is officially listed online. We'll have more on that.
Plus, the Rockland community has been shaken following the tragic death of a student who was hit by a bus on Friday. Many community members are now speaking out. And
Saturday was International Suicide Intervention Awareness Day, and one local family spent the day honoring a hometown hero. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us on this Monday morning. We'll have all the day's news coming up over the next hour. We'll also be hearing from a special guest about Christmas time at the Thomas Hill House in Bangor. They've got it all decked out for the season to show how people celebrated Christmas in years past. That's a little later on. But first, a check of that forecast, and it's looking like a quiet start to the work week.
We're going to turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono. We have the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's hardest selection meets unbeatable prices. Alrighty, here we go. A pretty quiet morning. We have an area of low pressure passing through, and overall, it's going to be a pretty decent day. We'll have some gusty winds from time to time. Otherwise, a partly cloudy sky, the common idea as we do move forward. In an area of high pressure, you can kind of see it with how clear it is, will be moving in our direction, but it will get active later on this week with our next system that will be moving in. As we move forward with Futurecast, you can see the cloud cover will be under a partly cloudy sky. Will clear out for a while overnight with more clouds on the way as we head towards early Tuesday morning. Some gusty winds up to 20 miles per hour today, backing off overnight, but more winds on the way as we head towards your Tuesday, roughly up to around 15 to maybe 20 miles per hour at times. The hourly forecast as we do move forward into today, a partly cloudy sky nonetheless as temperatures warm up into the lower 40s, not too bad. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin. We'll see you later on. Authorities say a 12-year-old student who was hit by a school bus in Rockland Friday afternoon has now succumbed to their injuries, and now a community is speaking out. According to Rockland Police, the student sustained life-threatening injuries and was transported by Life Flight to Maine Medical Center in Portland, where he was later pronounced dead. Our Grace Blanchard spoke with members of the community who are mourning that sudden loss.
That daily reminder is of that road right there is just gonna hurt everybody.
The Rockland community has been shaken following the tragic death of an RSU 13 student who was struck and killed by a bus on Friday.
That kid always had a smile on his face. He's always polite.
Never made any trouble for nobody. He was always minding his own business, and he was a real proud kid.
According to police, the incident happened at the intersection of Eliza Steele Drive and Broadway around 2:30 p.m. Family and friends of 12-year-old Braden Callahan say he had just gotten off the bus when he was suddenly struck. A nearby neighbor says she and others rushed to his aid and began performing life-saving measures.
And some of the kids on the bus, they were looking and watching us do CPR, and I can tell you right now there's a lot of kids that don't want to ride the bus no more.
This weekend, many were seen leaving flowers and mementos at the site of the incident, some holding signs voicing safety concerns and calling for justice.
No family should deserve this. So we want to be out here and just to help out as much as we can to get our voices heard.
Authorities have not identified the bus driver. The superintendent of RSU 13 says they are working with law enforcement as they investigate, and counseling services are available for students and staff.
We all watch out for each other's children. So right now, this whole community is mourning, and we all don't understand why. Why did it happen? And it should never happen.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help the family pay for funeral expenses. That link can be found on our website, foxbangor.com. The incident is under investigation. In Rockland, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And all RSU 13 schools will be closed today and tomorrow. According to the superintendent, additional counseling will be available at the South School and Oceanside High School on those days, and there will also be an increased law enforcement presence at the two schools this week.
In other news this morning, Maine State Police and the Office of the State Fire Marshals are investigating the deaths of 2 people in northern Maine in the town of Wade. According to the Department of Public Safety, on November 18th, troopers and EMS personnel responded to 505 North Wade Road for a welfare check. Responders found 2 occupants deceased in the home. The victims have been identified as 64-year-old Brian Merchant and 56-year-old Lori Ridgway. They live together in that residence. According to investigators, evidence suggests the victims likely died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Investigators determined an improperly installed furnace exhaust disconnected, venting exhaust fumes directly into the home. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Augusta will conduct examinations to determine the official causes of death.
A Freeport man is currently recovering from non-life-threatening injuries after police say he was stabbed in Portland. A spokesperson with the Portland Police Department tells us authorities responded to Longfellow Square Park for a reported stabbing just after 8 o'clock Saturday night. Upon arrival, officers discovered a 66-year-old Freeport man suffering from knife wounds to his face. A short time later, 48-year-old Donald Cosino, who police say is unhoused, was arrested and taken to the Cumberland County Jail. He's charged with aggravated assault. His bail is now set at $5,000 cash, and according to the Portland PD, Cosino and the victim did not know each other, and witnesses reported that the attack was unprovoked. Investigators are asking anyone with information to step forward. Those details can be found on our website.
A driver is recovering from injuries following a bad crash in Naples. It happened on Saturday afternoon, just after 2 o'clock on Thompson's Point Road. Authorities say the driver left the roadway and hit a utility pole before slamming into a tree. The car was left heavily damaged, but the driver received injuries that are not considered serious. Authorities believe speed and alcohol were factors, and the crash remains under investigation this morning.
Nearly 3 years after its pre-development began, the ribbon on an affordable housing complex in Augusta has been officially cut. Our Doug Banks with that story.
The people are here. They want to be here.
A 32-unit affordable housing complex in Maine's capital is officially online. Sturgeon Landing Apartments on Park Street in Augusta offers 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units with rent prices ranging from $700 to $1,700. The rent tenants pay are based off of income and whether or not they have a rental subsidy. According to Augusta Housing Authority Executive Director Norman Mays, it's designed to accommodate working families.
We know that there are so many people who are getting priced out of their rental units and they have nowhere else to go.
Mays says the near $11 million project was paid for through local, state, and federal funds, including the Federal Low-Income Housing Tax Credit Program and the city's tax increment financing program. Construction on the Park Street complex began in January of 2024. The Augusta Housing Authority received a certificate of occupancy in March of this year. Residents began moving in May, and units were fully occupied by June.
Sort of demonstrates the need for this type of housing in the city.
84,300 new homes. The Maine Housing Production Needs Study says Maine needs to hit that number by 2030. Mays says we're currently not close to that number, but Sturgeon Landing's 32 units are a step in the right direction.
I know that there are a number of other developers across the state that have units either coming online or are in production. It's just going to take a little bit more time than the few years that we have to get to that number.
In Augusta, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Saturday was International Suicide Intervention Awareness Day, and one local family spent the day honoring a hometown hero. Our Alex Schley tells us how the family of Master Sergeant Eric Cole Jr. is keeping his memory alive.
The world's a better place with you in it.
Strong, courageous, loving guy, just super kind to everyone, treated everyone the same, and just a great guy in general.
Eric Cole Jr., known as Junior to his family, was an Army veteran, a father, and a man whose impact is still felt years after his passing.
He had recently been promoted to Master Sergeant. He had 3 sons, and they were at the time ages 10, 7, and 4.
The Cole family lost Junior on July 13th, 2018. A loss made even more personal because he shared a birthday with his father, Eric Cole Sr.
and he said he'd never celebrate a birthday again. So I turned it into, for your birthday, we're going to do a full tournament in honor of him and his son.
What began as a way to cope with grief has grown into an annual event, one that channels heartbreak into hope and provides scholarships for young Mainers who have experienced similar grief.
We don't give it to someone just because we went to school with their father or we know the family. They have to write an essay on what they do to help promote suicide prevention and awareness.
Eric Coles Sr. now uses this shared birthday to support students committed to suicide prevention, ensuring Junior's legacy continues to help others. For more information on Eric Jr.'s suicide program and details on how to apply for their scholarship, visit our website, foxbangor.com. In Bangor, Alex Live for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
The time now is 8:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Herman's Neighbors Supporting Neighbors Food Pantry is ensuring everyone has a meal this Thanksgiving.
We'll tell you all about it coming up, but first another check of that forecast. A partly cloudy and breezy day lies ahead today with highs near 42 degrees. Partly cloudy tonight with lows dropping down to the mid-20s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with highs near 44. We'll be right back.
Seasons Lounge and Banquet Center. We're just one block from Hollywood Slots in Bangor, and you're home for the NFL Sunday Ticket. Come watch the game with us and have an appetizer combo. See us for game day specials. Fans, food, fun, seasons.
Come see us at R&K Variety in Hamden. R&K Variety is more than just a convenience store. With delicious homemade food made fresh daily, we offer hearty meals that don't break the bank. Whether it be our delicious chicken pot pie, our famous lasagna, or one of our savory soups, you can't go wrong at R&K Variety. Looking for a drink after work? R&K Variety is an agency liquor store with an impressive selection. R&K Variety, more than just a convenience store. We're your neighbor, chef, barista, and friend. Stop by today.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
Seasons Lounge and Banquet Center. We're just one block from Hollywood Slots in Bangor, and you're home for the NFL Sunday Ticket. Come watch the game with us and have an appetizer combo. See us for game day specials. Fans, food, fun, seasons.
Volunteers at St. Joseph Hospital are making sure patients and staff are surrounded by works of art on a day-to-day basis.
There have been so many studies done about how music and art aid in healing.
We'll introduce you to the Healing Arts Commission tonight on Fox 22 News at 10.
How's life in a small town?
The acclaimed mystery series returns.
Keep your eyes wide open, same as your mind.
Murder in a Small Town. All new Tuesdays on Fox.
On Saturday, Community Closet 207 gave out free turkey and fresh food. The nonprofit partnered with several local organizations, including the Exiles Motorcycle Club out of the Green Lake chapter and the Harlem Family Foundation. One 10-year-old volunteer says her family decided to host the event after hearing from so many folks in the community.
And we've had people saying, "Oh, do you know where we can find turkeys this year?" And we were able to say, "You can get them through us."
The Community Closet is now busy getting ready for the next big holiday. It's busy gathering holiday gifts for parents and guardians in Hancock County. That will help make sure these will be presents under the tree for children on Christmas morning.
I just loved her reaction there. You can tell she's just so proud to be helping everybody. Well, meanwhile, a traditional Thanksgiving dinner with all the fixings is not always achievable for folks experiencing food insecurity, and that's why some folks in Herman pitched in to make the meal possible there. Callie Warren has more.
You know, you're helping everybody. I have family coming. It helps, trust me, I know.
That little bit of help can go a long way during the season of giving. Herman's Neighbors Supporting Neighbors Food Pantry is making sure everyone in the community can come together over Thanksgiving dinner.
We're, of course, doing our turkeys today. Stuffing, everything goes
goes with it, and it is a hard time for everybody right now.
Pantry clients got to pick up turkey, stuffing, gravy, potatoes, cranberry sauce, and more at the Penobscot Snowmobile Club, along with other essentials like non-perishable foods and hygiene products.
Can I have one good-sized turkey, please?
The holidays can be rather expensive, especially for folks facing food insecurity. Food pantry clients say access to all the fixings helps families focus on quality time rather than conserving resources.
It's just a blessing that they do this, and I just can't thank them enough for it.
The pantry plans to host another dinner distribution event on Monday, as well as bringing the effort back for Christmas.
We're still going to need more turkeys, and we'll need stuffing and everything that goes with them.
In Herman, Callie Warren, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The time now is 8:15. After the break, Thanksgiving travel is upon us, and this year is looking busier than last year at the airport. We'll have the details coming up.
Plus, the growing fallout from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's shocking announcement saying she's resigning from her post. Those stories and more straight ahead on Good Morning Maine.
And bang. They're demanding every penny. We're not paying. It's the law offices of Joe Bornstein. They'll be going after at least triple.
Call Joe, the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Let your creativity run free at the Creative Arts Center, where we offer fun and affordable activities for all ages. Birthday parties, pottery wheel classes, painting lessons, or just for the fun of it. Get fired up for glazing projects as well as acrylics. We offer a wide selection of ceramic products for you to choose from, and we have thousands of pieces ready to paint. We are a Paragon kiln dealer and a Laguna Clay distributor. Stop by the Creative Arts Center today, located just off the Joshua Chamberlain Bridge in Brewer. The Creative Arts Center, where your only limitation is your imagination.
You've asked me that 3 times already.
I did? This is exactly how it started with Mom.
Worried about your brain health? Cerefolin Brain Wellness has a dual-action formula that slows cognitive decline while improving memory, focus, and concentration. Those taking Cerefolin Brain Wellness experienced a slower rate of brain shrinkage. Now also available without a prescription at cerefolin.com and Amazon.
It changed my mind.
Neurologist recommended Cerefolin Brain Wellness.
This place wasn't our first choice.
Yeah, we made offers on like 3 or 4 other places. But all of that changed when we got pre-approved with the County Federal Credit Union. We applied entirely online.
It was so easy.
From application to moving day, count on the county to get you home faster. So yeah, this home might not have been our first choice.
But the county was our best choice.
The County Federal Credit Union Online Mortgage. Local to the last step. CountyFCU.org.
My truck was totaled. A distracted driver hit me head on.
If you've been in an accident, don't let insurance companies decide what's fair. Get maximum compensation for your injuries. Call Joe for a free case evaluation.
I knew calling Joe was the right decision.
The busy Thanksgiving travel season is upon us, and for many, it's the perfect time for an escape.
Fox Business correspondent Jerry Willis has more.
Airports are going to be crowded, lines are going to be longer, so everyone's just going to need to take their patience pills and get ready to travel.
AAA expects nearly 82 million Americans to travel for this year's Thanksgiving holiday. Over 73 million by car, 6 million more taking to the skies.
Everyone is flocking to cities and sun. Those are the 2 key areas. And, you know, people are excited to get away.
Virtuoso reporting a 20% increase in bookings and a 36% increase in sales compared to last Thanksgiving. It's also projecting a huge jump in both bookings and sales over the Christmas holidays as well.
The sun absolutely makes sense as temperatures drop. People tend to head to the warmer weather. And we actually see that even more so when we get to Christmas week, where they are, the key destinations are almost entirely islands or in Mexico.
Top holiday season destinations include New York City, London, Paris, Mexico, and Palm Beach.
The nice thing about some of those international destinations is that those flights are less likely to get canceled or even delayed. So if you are flying internationally, you should be in a good position there. The domestic flights tend to be a little more susceptible to some of the airline delays. And at this point, really, it's in Mother Nature's hands.
Holiday travel costs are rising, but experts say deals are still out there.
CoStar, who tracks these things, is showing that hotel rates are down just a little bit. So some of the places to look to would be Las Vegas, Nashville, some of the key cities in the U.S. are down just a little bit. However, New York is not one of them. And really, you're seeing Black Friday sales happening across the U.S. this year. You're seeing 25–30% off of rates.
Deloitte says most people traveling between Thanksgiving and early January plan to stay with friends and family rather than pay for a hotel. And planned trip length and frequency, as well as travel budgets, are all down compared with last year. Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
Boy, it would be nice to escape to some nice warm beach somewhere.
Yes, somewhere
or something.
tropical.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that. The time now is 8:20. Let's get a full look at our weather forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by SO1 Companies. Visit SO1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono. We have the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SO1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. Alrighty, here we go. Let's check out the wave heights. We have no advisories in effect. On land or along the coast, we have 1 to 2 foot wave heights, and it will stay rather quiet. 3 foot wave heights further out towards sea, and 5 foot wave heights according to that buoy. So nothing too ridiculous going on this morning wave heights wise. But on land, again, a little area low pressure moving away. You can see some of the rotation right there. But overall, we will stay dry today under a partly cloudy sky. So nothing too ridiculous going on with the clouds. A little bit of energy further off towards the west. So we are going to be watching some activity moving in later on this week. So without further ado, let's get into things here. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky moving forward today. We'll be clear for a while overnight, but more clouds on the way as we head towards Tuesday morning. And then more clouds on the way throughout Tuesday. And then once we head towards Tuesday evening, that's when we start to watch a little bit more precipitation on the way as we head towards Wednesday morning ahead of another system. And this one will be intensifying as it heads in our direction with some rain and yes, some snow chances mixing in. And this will be a multi-day system with not only gusty winds and precipitation, but it could also mix in with a little bit of snow even through parts of Friday. So this will be one system we'll have to keep an eye on as it heads in our direction. We could use it though. We've been dry for quite some time with moderate to severe drought, although recent systems have helped out in trimming away most of the extreme drought. So we'll take the precipitation though to knock away more of that drought. Low 40s today, partly cloudy and breezy, and that northwest wind up to around 20 miles per hour. Overnight, mid-20s, partly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. And then for tomorrow, we have mid-40s under a mostly cloudy sky and that southwest wind up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Upper 40s for today, or upper 40s for Wednesday with a chance for rain showers. And then for Thanksgiving Day, we have some morning rain showers and then upper 40s for the high, cooling off throughout the day. And then we'll have some more snow showers for your Friday with temperatures in the low 40s.
Such beautiful stuff. We're happy for miles, driving in a Honda Wonderland.
Experience the wonder of happy Honda days while you can. Visit your local Honda dealer or shop online today.
Craving something delicious? Welcome to High Street Market, located at 167 Enfield Road in Lincoln. Breakfast options? Grab a cup of coffee and try one of our sandwiches or burritos. When breakfast is over, we're just getting started. Pizza, subs, burgers, and pastries. Come get lost in Danny's Beer Cave. Order online and save 10% off your first order. High Street Market, where your taste buds go to party.
No matter what happens in D.C.,
there's one thing we can count on.
Susan Collins always delivers for Maine.
Susan's Law restored Social Security benefits for thousands of Mainers like me.
Collins is protecting our lobster industry
by fighting unfair regulations.
Susan always has our back. And Collins Long expands care to help Mainers fight Alzheimer's.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
I appreciate everything she is doing.
Call. Thanks Senator Collins for fighting and winning for Maine.
With Maine's largest network of parts, Coastal Auto Parts keeps things moving. If it's got wheels and an engine, we've got the parts to keep it on the road. From work trucks to weekend rides. If it's on the road, we're behind it. At Coastal Auto Parts, we're driven by more than engines. We're powered by the people who count on us. Because serving our community is what keeps us going. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
It's electrifying.
But the season can bring
Driving in a Honda Wonderland.
Experience the wonder of happy Honda days while you can. Visit your local Honda dealer or shop online today.
Now to the latest on the war in Ukraine. Nearly 4 years after Russia's invasion, Ukrainian and European officials met in Geneva to discuss peace talks. However, critics argue the plan is too lenient on Russia. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with the details on where things stand now.
This morning, new details on the high-stakes meeting between U.S. and Ukrainian officials in Geneva as talks resume today on a proposed peace deal to end the Russia-Ukraine war.
We've made substantial progress. Today was the best day we have had in our entire 10 months of working on these issues.
The comments follow talks in Geneva with Ukrainian officials aimed at revising a 28-point peace plan offered by the U.S., a plan that would have handed over more Ukrainian territory to Russia and slashed its military in half. The deal would also require Ukraine to promise it will never join NATO, but it would provide some sort of U.S. military-backed security guarantee for Ukraine. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle criticizing the plan.
I would not advise Ukraine to sign this.
That plan, that's Putin's plan. That is a very good deal for Russia. It is a horrible deal for Ukraine.
Trump administration officials are pushing back against critics, with the State Department insisting it was based on input from both sides.
We'd like to get to peace.
The president had reportedly threatened to cut off all U.S. military support and intelligence sharing unless Ukraine agreed to a deal by Thursday. But Secretary Rubio is now downplaying that deadline. Ukrainian President Zelensky saying on Sunday, Ukraine has never wanted this war and we will never be an obstacle to peace. Over the weekend, more deadly attacks between Ukrainian and Russian forces. A U.S. official says there are plans to hold a separate meeting with a Russian delegation. No details were provided about the location of that proposed meeting. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
In other news, 3 Pakistani military officers were killed Monday in what is being described as a suicide bombing. Authorities say the attack involved 2 suicide bombers at the headquarters of the military security force in northwestern Pakistan, near the border with Afghanistan. At least 11 others were also wounded. Authorities say one attacker detonated his explosives near the main gate of the military provincial headquarters, while another bomber was shot and killed by officers near a parking area. Pakistani security forces were preparing for a morning parade at the time, with about 150 security forces on open ground inside the headquarters when that attack took place. Authorities have collected DNA samples for testing and are investigating to determine the identity and the nationality of the attackers.
Central Vietnam is cleaning up after the worst flooding in decades that left 90 people dead and damage reached nearly 500 million. Heavy rain began last weekend that triggered severe flooding and landslides across a stretch of 800 kilometers in the country's central region, including in the highlands. The flood inundated 200,000 homes and damaged around 1,100 others. It devastated farmland crops, including rice and vegetables, the government said, and the flood also submerged coffee farms in Vietnam's largest coffee growing region. Transportation is still disrupted to dozens of communities, while landslides are still blocking highways, making it difficult for rescue efforts. The weather agency said the flood was receding, but rain still persists in the region.
Meanwhile, Cubans are still suffering from the after effects of Hurricane Melissa, nearly 1 month after the storm decimated much of that island nation. Thousands of people are still without power, water, or proper shelter. The United Nations says more than 53,000 people in Cuba have been unable to return to their homes, with about 7,500 living in official shelters. Local communities have soaked mattresses, electrical appliances, clothing, food and furniture, and other belongings scattered outside of homes. A United Nations coordinator in Cuba says the UN has allocated more than $74 million for housing, health, education, and sanitation. But Cuba's eastern island still has not recovered from losses caused by both Hurricanes Oscar and Sandy last year.
Now to politics and the growing fallout from Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene's shocking announcement. One of the faces of MAGA resigning her post. ABC's Sophie Flay with more.
Days after announcing she's quitting Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene is making it clear she does not have her sights set on the White House. Greene posting, "I'm not running for president and never said I wanted to," adding, "I'm not the kind of person who is willing to make the deals that must be made." Greene's sudden decision to step down has sparked debate about what comes next for the Georgia Republican, after the very public breakdown in her MAGA alliance with President Trump, the rift appearing to stem from their disagreement over the Epstein files.
Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States.
But we're learning their conflict began months ago. Sources say Greene has been fuming ever since Trump seemingly signaled he would not support her if she ran for the Senate or for governor. Insiders say Greene saw that as a betrayal. Despite other infighting in the party, President Trump yesterday insisting the Republican Party has never been so united as it is right now, claiming there is great spirit and cohesion. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll hear from the curator of the Bangor Historical Society.
They're busy getting ready for Christmas over there.
They are.
We'll hear all about it coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Hey, Dad, can we talk?
Sure, what's up?
I gotta come clean about something.
Okay.
It's my new car. I only paid for a brand new Hyundai Tucson.
Oh, you might be on the naughty list.
Enjoy the new car.
Deal so right, it almost feels wrong.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson SE for $229 a month or get 0% APR for 60 months plus 0 payments for 90 days. Hurry, offers end soon.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Monday, November 24th, 2025. Just 31 days to go until Christmas. It's also Celebrate Your Unique Talent Day.
Beauty lies in being different, and we're not all made to fit in one box. Can you stand on your hands, curl your tongue, or maybe you can do really good impressions? This is a day to celebrate our unique differences and the things that make us all special.
I think we both agreed neither of us have any really unique talents or
No,
anything like that.
Not really, but it's cool to see when someone kind of just does something like that.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I have a friend who has the world record for catching quarters on his elbow. Where you do one of these things. And he entered a thing on a whim one time. And he set the world record by doing it. He had
That's
so many
cool.
stacks of quarters, but
Wow.
yeah, I can't do that.
Me either.
Yeah. That's
Cool, though.
Tim Throckmorton, by the way. He used to be a
Showed out.
sports guy around here. So, all right, let's get to history. It was on this day in history back in 1859. British naturalist Charles Darwin published On the Origin of Species, which explained the theory of evolution by means of natural selection. In 1877, the animal welfare classic Black Beauty was published for the first time. In 1887, George Hancock, who invented softball, played the first match in Chicago. And in 1947, a group of writers, producers, and directors was cited for contempt of Congress for refusing to answer questions about alleged communist influence in the movie industry. They became known as the Hollywood 10.
And in 1963, Jack Ruby shot and mortally wounded Lee Harvey Oswald, the accused assassin of President John F. Kennedy. It happened on live television as Ruby was being transported by police. And in 1967, the very first Chick-fil-A restaurant opened in Atlanta's Greenbrier Mall. And in 1971, a man who went by the alias Dan Cooper parachuted from a hijacked passenger plane after receiving $200,000 in ransom. He vanished into the forests of Washington state, and his fate remains unknown to this day.
That's always a fascinating story for me. That's back in the
Yeah.
days I was mentioning earlier, they had the stairs that would come down the back of the plane.
Yeah.
And so he opened it up in mid-flight once they got down to a safe level, parachuted out there, and never saw him again. They found some traces of like his gear, and I think they even found some of the money. But
I wonder what happened to him.
Who knows?
Who knows? In 1974, the fossils of an early human ancestor were discovered in Ethiopia and were nicknamed Lucy. The remains showed that the human species was walking upright over 3 million years ago. And lastly, in 1991, Queen lead singer Freddie Mercury died in London at the age of 45 after succumbing to AIDS-related pneumonia.
Such a sad thing, but his music continues to thrive today.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All
So
generations
talented.
like Queen. All right, for birthdays today, they all include actors and actresses. Katherine Heigl is 47 today. Actor Mark Ruffalo is 58. And actress Scarlett Johansson turns 41 years old today. Two of them are superheroes.
They are.
You got the Hulk and the Black Widow right
Yes.
there. And happy
Talented
birthday
people.
to you also, if your birthday is today.
We're going to turn things right back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono. We have the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. Alrighty, here we go. A pretty quiet morning. We have an area of low pressure passing through, and overall, it's going to be a pretty decent day. We'll have some gusty winds from time to time. Otherwise, a partly cloudy sky, the common idea as we do move forward. In an area of high pressure, you can kind of see it with how clear it is, will be moving in our direction, but it will get active later on this week with our next system that will be moving in. As we move forward with Futurecast, you can see the cloud cover will be under a partly cloudy sky. Will clear out for a while overnight with more clouds on the way as we head towards early Tuesday morning. Some gusty winds up to 20 miles per hour today, backing off overnight, but more winds on the way as we head towards your Tuesday, roughly up to around 15 to maybe 20 miles per hour at times. The hourly forecast as we do move forward into today, a partly cloudy sky nonetheless as temperatures warm up into the lower 40s, not too bad. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin. For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood,
here's ABC's Allison Kosick.
Alphaba, they're coming for you.
Universal's Wicked franchise defying gravity this weekend as it soared into theaters, breaking its own record at the box office, or at least the record that was set by last year's first installment. Wicked for Good opened to $150 million domestically, raking in $226 million globally. It was also the biggest global opening ever for a movie based on a Broadway musical, as well as the biggest global and domestic opening for both of its stars, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. Eddie Murphy will be honored with a Life Achievement Award next April from the American Film Institute. The 64-year-old has been a force in entertainment for nearly 50 years, starting with his stint on Saturday Night Live, and then a string of box office successes that included the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, Coming to America, and Shrek. He's also won a SAG Award and a Golden Globe for his role in Dreamgirls. Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson walked the red carpet Friday for the London premiere of their new movie Song Sung Blue. Based on the real life of Lightning and Thunder, a Neil Diamond tribute band and married couple, the movie features many of Neil Diamond's greatest songs, including Sweet Caroline.
It's so fun because it brings people together, and I think Neil what an amazing song for him to be able to perform all the time.
And happy birthday, Katherine Heigl. The Emmy Award-winning Grey's Anatomy actress is 47. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Allison Kosick, ABC News.
Still to come here this morning, Max Sturm with sports.
Don't go away.
Any Any job goes more smoothly and successfully with the right people on your team, like the people at Hammond Lumber Company, where you'll find high-quality building materials from industry-leading suppliers and get expert advice and professional services. Hammond offers timely delivery with their own fleet of trucks, with boom and forklift trucks available. For your next project, get the materials and services you need to succeed from Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Fox Monday, Fox Monday.
I think you mean Jane's Day.
Yes, plural.
She's hosting a show where you guess a tune that'll make you think.
I can name that tune in one note.
What?
That's how you do it. And she's hosting a show where a celebrity is the weakest link.
You're terrible people who suck at this game.
It's Jane's Day.
Everyone deserves to be connected. Big cities, small towns, everywhere in between. And staying connected shouldn't break the bank. That's why T-Mobile and US Cellular have joined forces. The best network just got bigger. And we're combining it with the local service you know and trust. Join now and save up to 20% versus Verizon.
Maine's largest network of parts is your local Milwaukee headquarters with deals that work as hard as you do, like the Milwaukee 7-piece combo kit, drills, impact driver, and more. Only $849 for serious cutting. Milwaukee's chainsaw tears through logs with gas-like performance. No fumes, no hassle. Keep warm and save with Milwaukee's heated gear for any occasion, and help Maine vets stay warm when you purchase a Maine Veterans Project logo at any of their 30 locations. Coastal Auto Parts, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
What? No way!
The Masked Singer is back!
Welcome back in, folks. It was another championship Saturday, so that means another loaded sports block. So let's dive right into it with Thornton Academy in Portland in the Class A final. The Bulldogs coming in as the defending state champs, while TA last struck gold 2 years ago. Late in the first, there's no score. Portland QB Cordell Jones turning the corner, and he turns on the Jets. He's going to take it 65 yards deep into Trojans territory. However, this drive would stall out. Late in the quarter, the Trojans would strike. Connor Aob turns the corner and turns on the Jets. A 21-yard touchdown run, 7-0 Trojans after the PAT. Third quarter, still 7-0 TA, and it's Aob with his second touchdown of the day, of the game, 14-0 TA later in the fourth, and it's Connor Aob with the hat trick. He had 4 touchdowns on the day, leading the Golden Trojans to a 28-0 victory and the Class A state championship, where it was also head coach Kevin Kezal's 200th career win. Next up in Class B, Westbrook and Coney go to war. 2 great teams here, and after a scoreless first quarter, things started heating up in the second. Coney QB Parker Morin back to pass. Tony Bongaman steps in front and is taking it the other way. 87 yards to the house. House call right there for the touchdown. The Blazers strike back first off of a pick six and take a 6-0 lead. Rams come right back, facing a 4th and 9 from the Westbrook 32. Morin throws a laser to Cooper Clark, and the Rams would take a 7-6 lead. Back come the Blazers QB Giovanni Staples hitting Dimitri Lubin, who makes a one-handed catch and then turns on the Jets, cutting to the inside and taking it the distance for a 71-yard touchdown strike. Westbrook back on top, 13-7 at the half, and Westbrook would cap it off in this dream season tonight with a 40-20 victory over Coney. Now to the Class C state finals, where the undefeated Greeley Rangers, who hoisted a gold ball last year in November, winning the 8-man large state title. They get the ball first, Rangers first. Luke Piper aerating out for Ben Kiles, taking it down to the Levitt 5-yard line, and just 2 plays later, Piper rolls out. He's patient, and he fires a touchdown strike to Sean Justice, and the Rangers take a 7-0 lead. Still in the first, the Rangers with the ball again. Piper rolls out and decides to take it in himself for the 7-yard touchdown run, 14-0 Greeley. And then a few later on, they would score again. Here's the run all the way to the end zone, and Greeley with a 41-6 victory. over Leavitt. Now let's head south for Maine football's trip down to UNH to play for the Bryce Cowell Musket Trophy, and we'll get right into the action. 3rd and goal for the Wildcats. Quarterback Matt Visa throws right, but Christian Thomas makes a remarkable play on the ball. They'd get the 4th down stop as well, but UNH gets the ball back here. Visa launches deep to Chase Wilson. He hauls it in. They thought it was a touchdown at first. That gets them down to the 1-yard line, but they would go ahead and punch it in a few plays later with this run by Miles Thomason. His 4th rushing score of the season. The Black Bears would get possession next, and Carter Peavy would answer back. Get ready for this strike right here. Carter Peavy drops back, looks over the middle, fires, and he's got Ty Stevenson. He runs it down. Can anybody catch him? Down inside the 5-yard line, and Maine again would get the answering score on the next play with a run from Carter Peavy. Peavy takes it in himself and makes it 13-7 to bring the game within 6 points. But before the half, the Wildcats are back in the red zone, and again, Visa and Wilson, the connection to hits. Wilson with an incredible catch for the score. Maine fought back in the second half, but it wasn't enough. UNH wins the Musket for the 4th straight year, 33-27. But for right now, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust. We get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Do you want free internet? Forever? You got it. Really. We mean it. Spectrum is offering free fiber-powered internet forever. Want it? Just call this number and switch 4 mobile lines to Spectrum for a lifetime of internet you never pay for. It's not a trial, it's an unprecedented offer. So we'll say it again. Free fiber-powered internet forever. Have you called yet? Because your internet is forever. But this ad ends now.
Make the most of your season during the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. Gift yourself some savings and visit your local Kia dealer today. Look out for these stickers to find great deals on vehicles backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can start new traditions for years to come. Get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months, plus $750 retail bonus cash on specially tagged 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage vehicles.
Thanksgiving weekend is for family, food, blah, blah, blah. It's about football, and we're serving up the Fox Football Feast. Let's go. Thursday, it's Packers, Lions. And on Friday, we're back for seconds with Arizona State. Then on Saturday, another main course, Ohio State, Michigan. And on Sunday, it's a full plate of NFL action. The Fox Football Feast. Dig in.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust. We get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, it's that time of year. A lot of people are thinking about their holidays from the past and all the good memories that we've made. And it's also becoming a kind of a tradition for some folks to visit the Thomas A. Hill House in Bangor, which is really getting ready for the holiday season, too. Joining us now from the Bangor Historical Society is Matt Bishop. Thanks for coming back. You're the curator over there.
Yeah, curator and operations manager, and always happy to get in here in the mornings and talk with you guys.
Sounds like you guys have been busy over there.
That is an understatement. At my last edition, we're approaching the 400-ish hours of volunteer hours for decorating for this event.
That's incredible.
Each year, more and more is added to really make the Hill House just so beautiful this time of year, and really excited to get people in and able to see everything.
Yeah. For people that haven't been there during the holidays before, tell us about it. You guys have a great collection of things that you've gathered over the years.
Yeah,
this is a good chance to see them.
It's an amazing time to see them. The little downside of it, because so much of the decorations take up so much space, some of the objects are being taken away for the time period, but we always have the amazing paintings and furniture and a lot of the stories that always will be there. But some of the littler pieces that might get lost amongst the feet and feet of garland and thousands of Christmas lights are put on hold until spring.
Yeah, give us an example of what people can see if they stop by and visit.
Yeah, so we have a couple of different eras for some of the different rooms. We have one focusing on the Great Gatsby era, kind of that roaring 20s. This is the 100th anniversary of the Great Gatsby being published. We do have a room kind of hearkening to the Gilded Age, another one for the 1950s. So a little bit of everything when you come in. So you will have a mixture of some beautiful dresses with the little bubble lights on some of the trees.
Oh, neat. And so some of these things we haven't seen for decades, so it's a chance for people to see maybe how people celebrated holidays in the past.
Yep, and also if you just love interior decorating, like our volunteers are just so amazing to being able to transform all of our, I believe, 7 trees and the windows and the mantelpieces and all the flat spaces, and it's really just an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, it takes a lot of volunteers, as you mentioned, to do this too.
A lot of volunteers, a lot of hours, and a lot of coffee.
So what are the details if people want to check this out for themselves? It starts actually December 5th, is it right?
Yeah, we open on Friday, December 5th. We're going to be open 10 to 6. And that's going to run through the 23rd of December. We are open Tuesdays through Saturdays, so closed Sunday, Mondays.
Right.
But some great times to come see. And if you are downtown for the light parade on Saturday, stop on by. If it's really cold, warm up before heading the rest of the way downtown. And
that's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
It's free of charge too.
Yeah, always accepting donations, but no admission charge to come in and see us.
Yeah, well, that sounds great. It's a great way to enjoy the holidays. You might want to make that part of your family's routine. You got some construction underway or going to happen over there too.
Yes, we do. We are embarking finally on the portico restoration plan for working on the Hill House. So that's not affecting the entrance for the holidays at Hill House, still coming through the front entrance of our home kind of via Union Street. But throughout the next few months, we're going to be removing all of the granite blocks, creating better drainage, putting all those blocks back, rehabilitating columns, and come springtime, it's going to be an amazing celebration to start off the country's 250th birthday.
That's fantastic. It's important to keep these things going too, so we can enjoy them for generations to come. By the way, I love all the photos you post on Facebook and that about the various homes. Do you know who lived here or whatever? It's a great way to learn about our local history.
It really is. On Facebook, Instagram, some great ways to kind of get your daily dose of Bangor history.
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out for yourself, you may want to check it out. It's very interesting. Well, thanks for coming in, and happy holidays to you.
Thank you. You as well.
All right, we're going to send it back over to Devin now for a final look at our forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Visit SR1 in Herman, Turner, Manchester, and Orono. We have the best prices on trailers, campers, tractors, heavy equipment, and more. SR1 Companies, where New England's largest selection meets unbeatable prices. Alrighty, here we go. Let's check out the wave heights. We have no advisories in effect. On land or along the coast, we have 1 to 2 foot wave heights, and it will stay rather quiet. 3 foot wave heights farther out towards sea, and 5 foot wave heights according to that buoy. So nothing too ridiculous going on this morning wave heights wise. But on land, again, a little area low pressure moving away. You can see some of the rotation right there. But overall, we will stay dry today under a partly cloudy sky. So nothing too ridiculous going on with the clouds. A little bit of energy further off towards the west, and we are going to be watching some activity moving in later on this week. So without further ado, let's get into things here. We'll be under a partly cloudy sky moving forward today. We'll be clear for a while overnight, but more clouds on the way as we head towards Tuesday morning. And then more clouds on the way throughout Tuesday. And then once we head towards Tuesday evening, that's when we start to watch a little bit more precipitation on the way as we head towards Wednesday morning ahead of another system. And this one will be intensifying as it heads in our direction with some rain and yes, some snow chances mixing in. And this will be a multi-day system with not only gusty winds and precipitation, but it could also mix in with a little bit of snow even through parts of Friday. So this will be one system we'll have to keep an eye on as it heads in our direction. We could use it though. We've been dry for quite some time with moderate to severe drought, although recent systems have helped out in trimming away most of the extreme drought. So we'll take the precipitation though to knock away more of that drought. Low 40s today, partly cloudy and breezy, and that northwest wind up to around 20 miles per hour. Overnight, mid-20s, partly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. And then for tomorrow, we have mid-40s under a mostly cloudy sky and that southwest wind up to around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by SR1 Companies. Upper 40s for today, or upper 40s for Wednesday with a chance for rain showers. And then for Thanksgiving Day, we have some morning rain showers and then upper 40s for the high, cooling off throughout the day. And then we'll have some more snow showers for your Friday with temperatures in the low 40s.
If you've been injured in an accident, get Maine's most recognized personal injury law firm working for you today. The law offices of Joe Bornstein, fighting and winning for injured Mainers for over 50 years. Selected best lawyers in America for personal injury. Recognized for professional excellence, with more than $750 million collected for injured Mainers and over 25,000 victories for Maine families. Call Joe for a free case evaluation. Accidents happen to be our specialty.
With irresistibly smooth melting chocolate in every Lindor, you can melt into every holiday moment. This year, bring out Lindor from the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Fires, floods, burst pipes. Disasters happen, but the mess they leave behind doesn't have to last. For 40 years, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration has been there to help Mainers get back to the closest to normal as they can. When your property is at its worst, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is at their best, and they have been for 4 decades. Put your trust in the Bouchard team. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest.
Orpheus was a poor boy, but he had a gift to give. And Eurydice was a young girl, but she'd seen how the world was. She fell in spite of herself, in love. Just how far you can go for her.
My mind, it hasn't been right. But I can't afford to be afraid.
Credit card company warns of the top ways shoppers could get scammed this holiday season. Visa's annual Holiday Threats Report highlights 5 ways hackers are looking to target consumers. For online shoppers, the company says beware of fake websites that look like real retailers, as hackers copy sites to steal personal information. Other scammers are sending out texts about delivery issues, trying to trick customers into giving out personal information to retrieve their packages. For those looking for a holiday job, the report warns some scammers put out fake job posts offering extra cash. Business experts say the fake listings often require a fee to apply. The report also highlights phishing schemes linked to travel opportunities and fake charities as other ways for scammers to steal consumers' information and money during the holiday season.
You have to be skeptical on everything.
Yep.
And finally, the Chicago Zoo has a new female resident who loves hanging around. The Shed Aquarium introduced a new Linz two-toed sloth named Alface. What is it, Alface?
Alface.
I guess I have it right, which is a Portuguese, it is Portuguese for lettuce, her favorite food. Alface is seen hanging out in her enclosure and enjoying lettuce, of course, but she also eats a variety of other fruits and vegetables. Zoo officials hope she can also be an ambassador for her species and help guests learn more about the Amazon rainforest, where that species lives. Shed has a section dedicated to animals from the Amazon rainforest. Alface was born at the Dallas Zoo back in 2023. She looks like she's a very happy little critter, too.
Yeah, she does. She's really cute, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Imagine having those in Maine, walking out and seeing a sloth hanging out.
I kind of would like it.
That would be
It would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I always like learning about animals,
Me
going
too.
to zoos and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time that we have left for this morning, but as always, we thank you for joining us.
Thanks for being there, everyone. We hope you have a great day.